boom. The veil is real. I saw it. It literally, like, okay. So if you're looking at a white wall, and like even now, I'm looking at the wall, and it's sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, but everybody knows what that is. Things just aren't quite as clear as they could be. Like it's clear, but it's almost like there's a film over whatever you're looking at all the time. That's the veil. Oh my goodness. And it lifted up. Like I saw it just.
You saw, like as if you're turning a page, or you're like.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a curtain.
And it's like biblical. It says that.
It's like a curtain. It's like a curtain. It's literally, okay. I get so excited because I had not read my Bible that much. Yes, I was reading, but I wasn't reading anything like in full. I was just eating little bits and pieces because the word is food, just like the word says.
So you've seen the veil come up.
Yep.
Did it go this way or did it go that way?
It went up. It went up.
Okay. The veil came up. And we were like,
my spiritual eyes were open, and I could see him just like I could see anybody standing in front of me.
Was he standing in front of you? Was he sitting? Where was he?
He was standing. I mean, I'm sitting on my couch right now, and I could just, it's so fresh. It's like he was standing right there. I mean,
what did he look like? Let me know.
That's another thing. So I hadn't read my Bible really that much at all. Like I hadn't read anything in depth. I was just seeking God. I was just doing what I knew to seek him. I didn't know how to do anything. Like there's really no correct way, but I really hadn't read a lot. I read Genesis and Exodus, and I read a little bit here and there of other things, but that's about it. So like Daniel and Isaiah and like things like that, I had not read. So he looked like, okay, he was dressed in white, and he had like a belt around his waist to kind of hold. I mean, I guess I could say now because I've read the word, so I kind of know, like even, I think it was Daniel. Daniel said that he was wearing a robe. I mean, I guess now I think about it, yeah, I guess it was a robe because, I mean, it was just white. He was dressed in white. He had sandals on. He had sort of a beard, like facial hair, you know, it was just a beard, and I couldn't really see his hair because the light that was around him was so bright.
Wow.
So bright. Huge. I mean, I knew he had hair, obviously. I mean, but you couldn't see, just the glow. And he said that it was his glory. And I hadn't read about his glory.
He told you it was his glory.
And here, we didn't speak with our mouth.
Wow.
Dude, we spoke in here, like he spoke to me, and and you just know that it's him. You just know. You just know in the depths of your like soul. I wasn't baptized. I wasn't saved. I mean, I suppose in a way I was softened. I'm learning that now. I wasn't saved. I was softened because I was praying a prayer every other night saying, Lord, come into my heart, and just praying that prayer. Like, I want to give my whole life to you. Come into my heart. I was praying that every other night, but then the next night I drink. I mean, yeah. I'm just saying the Lord hears your prayers.
Amen.
He hears you.
Amen.
He wants to answer. He wants to do for you. But you gotta and see, the thing is I was drinking. I had it sitting next to me, and he still showed up in person. I saw him.
Amen.
He saw that whiskey. He saw my shot glass. He knew I took a shot, and he still showed up even after I took that shot.
So the veil is torn. He's standing in front of you in all his glory, and what happens?
Well, he told me I didn't get to see all of his glory thing. I mean, he said, I'm not going to show you all of my light because your physical body would burn. And so I knew that I was not out of my body. I knew I was still in my body, my physical body. So I wasn't out of my physical body. I was still sitting there on the couch, but my eyes were like open. I could see. I just got like a taste of it. Oh man, I didn't. And he told me, he said, "You're going to pass out for the last time." He said, "If I hadn't showed up right now, you would have passed out for the last time."
Yeah, I feel that way too.
You would have been on the floor, and those demons over there, and I heard them. They are awful. Just awful. They are at the ready to take you away.
What did it sound like? What were they saying?
Okay. So I could sort of hear them. I mean, I'm aware now. I'm more aware now. I can discern when I can hear them now. But even then, I could sort of hear them like, before I saw him and all that stuff. Even like a few weeks before, the demons are always, they're saying, they're cursing at you. They're cursing at you, making any bad like thoughts that you may have about yourself, or I don't know, yeah, any bad thoughts like you're a piece of this, or you'll never be this, or you stupid little wool. You know what I mean? Just the cursing. They curse at you. Wow. They mock you. They laugh at you. They play around with you. Like they literally, I mean, and the Lord showed me that I had chains on me. Like chains. Wow. We can't see those chains. Like, I mean, I see people walking around in the store. They're in chains. They don't even know it. They don't even know it. I can see it now, but see, the Lord showed me that when I saw him, and he showed me I had chains on me, and those demons were over there in the corner, and they were literally waiting to take me away.
So I feel like God showed up at that time because you were about to die.
Yep. He pretty much said, like, this is it. He said 3 things. Well, okay, so yeah, I saw, and he said, what did he look like? Okay, so his eyes are like fire. Like, they're literally like, it's not bad though. It's so good. It's so much love, and his love is huge. And he told me that the love was so big that it would make my physical body just burst. Woo! Just burst. Because the love that I was feeling coming off of him was so huge. But he said there's more. He said there's so much more. And he wasn't letting me feel it all because I was in sin. I was sitting there with my whiskey. I was in sin. I had already taken that shot. So I couldn't see all of his light, all of his glory. I wasn't allowed to see all of it. And I wasn't allowed to feel all the love. But what I saw and what I felt was ginormous. I mean, and there's more than I believe it. Our physical body would burn and we would burst because it's just huge. It's huge. I mean, and his eyes. So he looked at me with those eyes, and it was just so tender, so loving, everything that the word says. I mean, because he is the word, and I just felt it come into my spirit like this person, this Jesus, he's known me forever, and he loves me no matter what, and he's loved me the whole time, and he's been watching me the whole time before I was even born. I just knew it in my spirit, and I knew that he wasn't going to hurt me, that I didn't have to be scared. I was never scared when I saw him. No, never scared. But then when he looked at the demons, they were in trouble. I mean, he looked at them, and they were laughing at me, and they had chains on me and stuff, and he was so angry for them having chains on me. I mean, unbelievably angry. He looked at them, and they were quiet even before he lifted his arm to tell them, be quiet, I'm talking to her. And I have something to say to her, and you be quiet. I mean,
so what did he say to you?
He said, yeah, and then he looked back at me with that same fire, but it was like so loving. Oh, I can't even describe it. But yeah, 3 things. So he said, you can't serve 2 masters. You have to find a church that preaches me and only me and the truth about me. And you need to get baptized in water and spirit, just like the word says. I said,
did you know that in the word? Did you hear that in the word before he said it to you?
Nope. None of this I read. Yes, I read the Bible, but I didn't. There was things that there's so much in there. I just hadn't read it. And now I go back and I went back and I read it. And
I think we lost her for a minute.
no, I'm good. I'm right here. Oh dear. Hold on. Give me a second.
Give
me a second.
I'm about to say, I bind up the enemy right now in Jesus' name.
Seriously. Seriously. That is so the enemy. But yeah, it is, it's so, the love is just so big. And yeah, I hadn't read any of that. But then it's funny. I go back and I read it. I literally go back and I read it just days later. And I'm like, whoa, that was real. That was so real. That was more real than what I saw him. That's more real than anything here. Like, yes, this stuff is real. But the stuff we see, that's real. God made it. But the spiritual is way more real than the physical.